Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to me from, whatever part of the world you're in. Welcome to another episode of Career Discussions with AMA. And today it's episode 20, and our topic today is Speak Up. Speak Up. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to talk about something that happens in far too many meetings, workshops, and brainstorming sessions. A few years ago, I attended a workshop that lasted for about an hour. During that time, everyone worked together to analyze the problem, make recommendations, assign responsibilities, create action plans, and agree on deadlines. We thought it was a productive session. We were all ready to give ourselves high five and, thumbs up. What a productive session. And then someone who had been completely silent from the beginning of the workshop eventually spoke up. This person shared one critical piece of information, and that single piece of information changed everything. Suddenly, many of the recommendations we had made no longer made any sense. Some action plans had to be discarded. Deadlines had to be reconsidered. In essence, we had spent an hour making decisions based on incomplete information. It was rather frustrating. But the purpose of this audio slash video is not to cast blames or cast aspersion on anyone. It's for us to learn lessons. So let's dive quickly into the lessons. If you're invited to a meeting, there's usually a reason. People don't just simply invite you to come and occupy a seat or increase the attendance count. You were invited because your knowledge, your experience, your perspective or responsibility is valuable to the discussion. When you withhold important information until the end or you don't share it at all, you reduce the effectiveness of the meeting. You also waste something that no one else can recover, or no one, including yourself, can recover. That's time. Time is the one thing that once it is spent, you can't get it back. So when key information is shared too late, the workshop man hours may have to be repeated. That's rework. These three simple habits can help you make your meetings far more productive, both as an attendee and as the meeting facilitator. And please, let me add here that as much as possible, each meeting deserves or needs a facilitator. I've been in meetings where it's directionless, someone is in charge really, and everyone is just speaking. So let's go quickly into the three simple habits. Number one, if you're invited to attend the meeting, prepare before the meeting. Review the agenda. Think about your responsibilities and identify any information that the team should know before any decisions are made. Number two, speak up early. You don't have to dominate the conversation or be unbearable, but if you know something that could influence the discussion, don't wait until everyone has agreed on a plan before sharing. Share it while the conversation is still developing. Number three, particularly as a facilitator or as the most senior person in the room, or the thought leaders, create a culture where everyone feels comfortable contributing. If you're the one leading the meeting or the facilitator or whatever you call it in your area, don't assume that silence means agreement. Ask questions. Invite the quieter team members to share their thoughts. I am a trained facilitator, and I've found out that many times those that are silent, they have a lot going on in their heads, but they are trying to defeat that. Sometimes it's imposter syndrome. Should I speak or should I not speak? So as a facilitator, you can help by asking them, calling them, and you say, you hear them say, I'm not so sure I should share this, but, and then they say that thing that is the game changer, right? So as a meeting leader, do that often. Sometimes people stay quiet because they think their opinion is not important, or they don't want to interrupt. Create space for everyone to contribute, and that actually often leads to better decisions. Good meetings are not measured by how quickly they end. They are measured by the quality of the decisions made and the clarity everyone lives with. But let me just say, that doesn't mean you should have everlasting meetings. If you can make them short, sweet, and brief, please do. And it just reminds me of someone that she sends me, actually, she just calls me on WhatsApp, and I didn't pick the call because I don't do. And then eventually I was like, so what do you want to? So she was like, oh, we need to have a meeting. I'm like, about what? What do you want us to talk about? Let's have a meeting. To do what? So always have an agenda. What do you want to achieve with this meeting to start with? And I think it helps prevent things where people are not sure if they should speak up or not. In fact, I have a lot to say, but we don't have a lot of time. So the next time you're invited to a meeting, remember that your voice, your perspective, and most importantly, your timing matters. Speak up when your contribution can make the biggest difference, not when the meeting is already over. Because what some people do is that, oh, they speak up quite late, their points are not picked up, and then they use that as proof later that, oh, nobody really wants to hear what I have to say. That's not true. What the truth is that read the room, know when to speak, and speak early, speak quickly. So have you ever been in a meeting where someone shared critical information at the very end or even after the meeting? What happened and what lessons did you learn? Share with us, share your experience with us in the comments. We want to learn from you. And if you found this episode helpful,